All right, we are back with another video, and this time we're gonna get a little unorthodox with it. The face cam is already unorthodox. Still don't know if this thing. It's very possible that I'm doing an album review with commentary this way. Mostly because I couldn't figure out how to full screen my camera because I'm an idiot. But whatever, we're gonna try it out. Today we're reviewing Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia, 14 tracks, 49 minutes. Now, this is definitely an album that is deeply personal to Tyler, and it's something that I can appreciate. I really wish that more artists would have music that is much more personal to them. Um, I kind of feel like that's something the industry lacks right now, and I feel like that's a lot of people's appeal to Tyler. Openly he's openly himself. You know that is definitely a claim to fame for him, and it works. So, Chromacopia, deeply personal album, except for Sticky. I don't think I would call Sticky deeply personal. But for its purpose that it's trying to serve, it serves it very well. So, Chromacopia initially, it took a little while for me to get into it. When I first started listening to it, songs like Sticky, I couldn't understand the appeal, but you know, now weeks or so later, I can understand the appeal. I, I'm not a Sticky hater anymore. Like that song is very good to me now, and for the purpose that it's trying to serve, of kind of trying to replicate this of like school lunch table. Everyone's kind of just like messing around and making music. It's great, great. Now, is it personal? I can't see how it's personal. But then you have other songs like Darling I, where it's about his struggle with monogamy. And you have people posting their significant others to the chorus. Which, by the way, Tizo Touchdown, I would never fail to give this man his credit. Tizo Touchdown as a feature will almost always hit. I have to say that. But Darling I, absolutely great song. Deeply personal, struggles with monogamy. Saint Chroma was a tremendous opening. And, that's something that I also feel like artists don't really put effort into now. The opening track to me, if you do it right, me as a listener, I'm more inclined to continue to listen because I want to see where it's going. Saint Chroma it's grand, and it just roped me right in instantly. Instantly. You know, Other songs like Noid kind of took a little bit of time to get into. I didn't hear any singles when they came out, and I'm 99% sure that Noid was a single. I didn't listen to it until the album came out. I didn't hear anything until the album came out. And I'm not generally a Tyler fan to begin with, so it wasn't quite in my plans, to be honest. But we have other deeply, deeply personal songs. One that I see all the time talked about, like him. For some reason, people are eating that one up, which is understandable because as I kind of had to do research for this exact video, I found that he had made a song previously speaking on his father's absence. Which, if you haven't heard like him, I would suggest it. Right, has to do with his father. If you haven't heard it yet, go hear it for yourself. I'm not gonna rob anyone of that first experience because that first experience was it was crazy for me, and I didn't even know his history. But like him, beautiful song, really just kind of blows some of the other songs out of the water. I think with this particular album, it really feels like Tyler made an effort to connect with his audience in a way that he hadn't before. And that is something that I will give Tyler respect for. It seems like he's definitely somebody who is very receptive and tries his very hardest to stay in touch with his fans and his community. But, you know, it's just this album was definitely a step forward in that. And it's kind of hard to just really take everything in because, like I said before, I'm not really a Tyler the Creator fan. And I haven't followed his albums like other people have talked about. But, just kind of from skimming through everything in his history, I can see the character development. And this kind of feels like, I'm not quite sure I want to say a peak in his development, but it's definitely there. This is definitely not the same Tyler that people grew up with. And, you know, it's one thing to grow, but it's another thing to stay in touch with your roots. I feel like that is something that Tyler the Creator has never had a problem doing. He's always kind of seemed like someone who has stuck to his roots. So the album, if you're not a listener of Tyler the Creator, you might have trouble getting into this album. If you don't like music that is a little bit on the wackier side, I guess you would say, some Tyler fans might hate me for saying that. If you're not a fan of that, you might struggle. Now, if you are a fan of this, you're probably already a fan of Tyler the Creator. This album is definitely one of those that you have to listen to, and if you don't like it the first time, give it a few more tries, and you'll probably warm up to things. Noid, I warmed up to. I warmed up to Sticky. Sticky is definitely a banger and a half. Way better than way better than Brad. Some of you people disappoint me. This is just an album that, while it was deeply personal, still has found its way to have replayability, and I think that's another aspect of this album that is so great. You know, a lot of personal albums. I know earlier I said, I wish artists did that more, and I still hold that sentiment, but it also at the same time, like, I understand why people don't do it more because, as Tyler so graciously put it in some of these songs, when you get so big, you lose a lot of your ability to have privacy. And I get it. Privacy is everything. And when you get big, nobody wants to lose their privacy. It's annoying. But generally, when we have things and they're deeply personal in that way, they oftentimes lack replayability, which is a hard balance because you want a song to be deeply personal and you don't want any of the quality to suffer as a result of that. It's like a fine balance. I'm not sure if people understand what I'm trying to say, but I think Tyler definitely has this balance where he's made a great deeply personal album aside from Sticky. Um, Nobody can convince me that Sticky is deeply personal. I'm sorry, you can't. But he perfected balancing a deeply personal album with an album that sonically sounds great, and it's very good and very fun to listen to. You know, this is an album that I found myself coming back to pretty frequently. And, you know, that's not something that I always do, especially not with Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator to me has always been a one of the more like wacky rap pop hip hop dudes that exist in the space that will give you a good comedy bit, but also turn around and give you some good music. It's just not in my taste, but Chromacopia, first full album I can listen to. All of Igor, I can't listen to all of Igor. Um, Flower Boy, I like one song off of Flower Boy. Uh, some of the other projects I've briefly skimmed for the purpose of this video, but it's just a great album, and it's not album of the year for me. I don't think. I would honestly have to sit here and see what other albums are coming out, which at the time of this recording, Corday's album just came out, which I might make a video on. Do not hold me to it. We had, well, I'm not gonna count the Denzel Curry album thing because that's like a mash of King of the Mischievous South. But you know, we've had a couple albums this year, and it's definitely there are definitely some contenders, definitely some things out there that I've seen that I entirely disagree with. By the way, and you know, I can't fathom the fact that some people think Brad is album of the year. But the point is, Tyler the Creator, he's a contender. Love the album, deeply personal, has replayability like a motherfucker. If you don't like it the first time, I would say keep listening. Maybe it'll grow on you. I would rate the album at the bare minimum a 9 out of 10. That's what we're gonna go with. 9 out of 10. That's the first friend that came to my head. Um, yeah. If you want more unorthodox album review videos where I'm just rambling and not really giving a review, like, subscribe, and comment. If you want me to go back to the way I did my music reviews before, where it was full face cam and I'm not actively playing something, then yell at me. I don't know. I'm just trying to do content. I don't really